We started it the year after Vernon passed away. It's a Vernon Brown Memorial Tournament.
Well, the main thing, we wanted to honor Vernon's love and passion for the game of basketball, and we decided to do something that would really have a meaning to Vernon and the way that he did pass. We combined this tournament with a donation to the Jimmy V Foundation, and we donate $1,000 of the proceeds to that fund every year. I sat down with Vernon's parents, and which I went to high school with his mother at Bel Air High School. We actually held the Rose Arches as juniors at Bel Air High School for graduation, and went over some scenarios what we'd like to do with the money for the tournament, and that's what we came up with.
What did you think when Dave Seski approached you about setting up this tournament?
We were very honored that he decided to do that, along with the other people that worked with him to help put it together. So we were very honored that they wanted to carry his name on.
Alice Puckett, he coached with Alice.
We were really good friends. I miss Vern a lot. He was one of those guys that if he was your friend, and he was everybody's friend, but he made you feel like he was a good friend.
Kind of a unique situation, co-coaches here at Fallston High School. Vernon, I don't think I know of another situation where there are co-head coaches.
Yeah, it is rare. Our referees always say something to us, who's going to stand, who's going to sit, but it works out well. I have a lot of respect for Alice and what she's done with field hockey and what she's done with me with basketball. So it's a great working relationship. We have great chemistry, and everything just seems to flow.
Running one-hander, no good. That's the ball game. What a game it's been.
We won our first that championship when we were coaching together. So that was definitely a really special moment. And then he continued to win them. He won 3 in a row, maybe 4. And they made the run to the, some runs in the regional tournament. So those were definitely happy times. And just his interacting with officials, he's much less tolerant than I am. And me just kind of being like, Vernon, okay. Just one time I knew if he said one more thing, he was going to get teed up. And I took his head and I turned it away. When he was squatting down, I said, stop, because you're done. And he's like, oh. And, we just fed off each other very well. And, it was just a really good time. We were in a good place then.
They get along so well, it's absolutely incredible, and they both respect the job that each other does, and they both do outstanding jobs.
His first year here, he had a seizure. We were on our way to Francis Scott Kiefer field hockey game. He was coaching soccer, and he had a seizure at school. And I said, that doesn't sound good. That sounds awful. That sounds like, and it all kind of started back when he was like 23, really young. So he had surgery then, and then he did really well for a long time. He would get these really bad headaches, and he was sick off and on quite a bit the last 3 years, I would say.
At the end, when he was very sick, he would still come to work in a wheelchair, and he would get around, and he still always managed to have a smile on his face, and was trying to be a teacher, which he kind of knew, and he would just fight his way through it, and that always meant a lot to me, that a man with that much going against him could smile. Kind of makes you, reflect on things.
I guess the thing about Vernon, always remember that he was really for the kids. He was all about the kids, and they loved him the way he coached. He coached with, like I said, with a passion in every sport that he coached, and a lot of the kids have come back to the tournament to honor him.
Well, you just have to have a love for the kids. You have to find a way to love each team that you coach. I mean, it might be harder than others, in previous years, and some teams are easier to love than others. But you have to find a way, to reach your kids and love each team you coach, because they're all unique.
He was very devoted to his girls, coaching girls soccer and girls basketball. And his one dream was to have a state championship banner on the wall for basketball, particularly because soccer already had one. And when they did accomplish that, he was actually really ill at the time, but able to be at the sideline at the game. So that was kind of cool.
That was the first year that he stopped coaching, right?
Correct.
But that was really his team on
Yes.
the floor there with Jess Farley.
Yes, Rachel, whole house, the two of them were just unbelievable.
So what did it mean to him to be there to watch them win the state title?
Well, I think it was great, but I'm sure part of him was really sad that he wasn't the one on the sideline that was orchestrating everything. It was probably really difficult, actually, because he's so used to being so active and doing everything hands-on that I'm sure, he could barely walk at that time. He was so you know, from the medicine he was taking, it was really tough for him to get out. So it was hard, but at the same time, a lot of satisfaction for the girls.
Was it one of those, you know, we're winning this for Coach Brown kind of a deal?
At the end of the game, you make me cry now.
Sorry.
Jess Harley, who is, as you know, an amazing girl, she's playing at West Virginia still. As they give like a presentation, each girl gets a little plaque, and then they do the state one. And she, as soon as it all stopped, took the plaque over, gave it to Coach Brown. It was a really generous. I think it meant a lot to him. I know it meant a lot to me. He just wasn't like a coach. He was a really cool person, very well-rounded. He ran the international club. He would take the kids on trips to Greece. I mean, they did a lot. He had a really good balance. We have a girl that teaches here now, Lauren Price, who would do the Spartan cheerleaders from Saturday Night Live.
Bobby Fischer, where is he? I don't know.
Well, the faculty members, they got them to dress up and do some cheers. I know Vernon's in one of them, and it is really, shows you a side of him, because a lot of people see him really serious and a sense of humor, yeah, but not funny. You're not unwinding, but he did have that side.
At the beginning, he wanted to be in communications.
Oh no.
Yeah, right. So after he got to school in Salisbury, then he switched majors after his first year and said he wanted to go into teaching. Well, we kind of knew something, because when he was small, we put him in the local YMCA summer camp, and then the people there decided to hire him because he was teaching the kids, and he was a kid.
The Bobcats are coached by Mr. Calvin Skelton.
I got to know Vernon just from the coaching circuit. This is my 10th season at Bel Air High School, and I knew him for the first 4. And he was always just a really, really good guy to talk to about the game. He and I would just talk about how other teams are doing, what we saw. He really helped mentor me into kind of knowing how the high school game worked. And I think a fitting tribute to him also was how well prepared his teams were. Because I always feel like a sign of a good leader is how your teams do when you stop being the leader of a program. And when he passed the program on to Coach McTeague, his teams continue to do well for years afterwards and now. And I feel like in many ways that's a tribute to Vernon as well.
1, 2, 3, go girl!
The thing that I do remember is, for people that knew Vern, he seems to be very low-key. He really had a passion for coaching and for basketball, and we came home from one game, and it was a tough loss to Aberdeen, and he just blew up in the office, you know. So nothing really profane or anything, but he was so upset that lost, and the refs didn't work his way, and I hadn't seen that kind of emotion. Even in games, he always kept his cool, and he was calm, and he, you know, steady influence on the girls, and he just went. So it really came through, his passion for winning and losing.
He had a passion for education and a passion for athletics, and he dedicated himself. If he wasn't in the classroom, he was out with the soccer team or basketball team. So he spent all his spare time was devoted to Fallston School.
That's what I would impart to everybody, is that just his influence on our community that extended beyond the school day. He spent a lot of time here, a lot of time. But Vern was a great guy. I think anybody that knew him felt that way.